Good day, everyone, and God bless all of you. My name is Dr. Alex British Chinedu Tasie from Ishopo community, which is in Ikwerre local government area of Rivers State of Nigeria, West Africa. I am a creative writer. I am a historian. I am a filmmaker. I am a football coach. I am a musician, and I am also a multi-dimensional thinker. I am simply called Professor of Native Intelligence. I am also a self-appointed, self-acclaimed president of the Nigerian semi-educated people. The people in Nigeria that you say are not highly educated people, are not well-educated people. I am a self-appointed, self-acclaimed president of that group in Nigeria, and maybe by extension in Africa. What I have here to discuss is still about the origin of Ikwerre people, where Ikwerre people came from, to be at the place we find them today. This issue is always, a front burner issue. It's always there. You go to social media, people are still talking about it. People still discuss it. And so, it is necessary to always re-establish the unanimous position of Ikwerre people concerning this matter. Yes, it is very, very important. And that is my job to do as an Ikwerre historian. And of course, the chief historian in Ikwerre land. Ikwerre people are found in Rivers State of Nigeria. And Ikwerre is composed of 4 main local government areas, namely Ikwerre local government area, Emowa local government area, Obiakpo local government area, and Port Harcourt City local government area. These 4 local government areas constitute what we call the Ikwerre ethnic nationality in Nigeria. Ikwerre ethnic nationality is a recognized nationality in Nigeria, recognized by the Federal Constitution of Nigeria, recognized by the federal government of Nigeria too. So it is a separate ethnic group, ethnic nationality in Nigeria. The people of Ikwerre are generally intrepid in their character, in their actions. They are always resilient when they are faced with any challenge. They don't always chicken out. They are bold-minded people. They always assert who they are. No matter the condition, they are there. The origin of Ikwerre, according to Ikwerre people, is traced to what we know as the ancient Benin Kingdom. Ikwerre people say unanimously that they are from Benin. During one-on-one discussions with people like the late paramount ruler of Apana Kingdom in Obiakpo local government area, in the person of His Royal Majesty Eze S.M. Wale, JP. A person like the late Chief Odigwe O. Odigwe from Ubimini community. A person like the late His Royal Highness Eze Paliku from Ndele community. Eze Barrister Paliku from Ndele community. The late His Royal Highness Eze E.O. Oma of Omarelu community. His Royal Highness Eze Okoromini, I've forgotten the initials, but Eze Okoromini, Onoka Okoromini from Ubimini community, from Apani community, you know, sorry. A person like Chief Bishop T.O. Wapo from Ropoko community. Chief C. Igwe from, I think, Eliohani community. You know, the late His Highness is the Ambassador Jobson Uche from Elembu community, and so many others. During one-on-one discussion with them, told me that Ikwerre people migrated all the way from Benin to settle at the place we find them today. The founder of Ikwerre land came from Benin to found what we call today the Ikwerre ethnic nation. You know? And the name of the founder of Ikwerre land is called Ikwerre. Ikwerre, that's the original name. Some people say Obowagide, some people say Ochichi, but generally, the person who founded what we call Ikwerre land was one Ikwerre from Benin. That is the unanimous position of Ikwerre people. Some people may argue and say it is a lie. Okay, leave it at that. That is what they have agreed, is their story, is their history. You that is saying it is a lie, tell us about your own people. How interesting it will look like. Whether it is falsified, a fallacy, or the truth, we will want to know. We will want to know. Tell us about your people. Where your people came from. Maybe they fell down from heaven to be at the place, you know, they are today. If they did not fall down from heaven, tell us where they came from, so that we can match the language they speak with that of the place they came from. We can also match the cultural practices that they practice today with the place they came from too. Don't argue about another person's matter. Tell us about your own. Let us see how interesting it will be like. Whatever a people say concerning their origin should be respected. Should be respected. It is their position. For example, Southeast is called majorly an Igbo ethnic nation. And I know that virtually every group there agrees that it is part of the Igbo ethnic nation. Why do Ikwerre people say they are not Igbo people? People don't care. People don't care to study that, to know about that. Why do Oba people, Ebeye people, Oguta people, Onitsha people, Abo, Nyocha, Nyomaika, Wachuku, and all that, why do they say that they are not Igbo people? It is not your duty to force them to say you are. Your duty is to stop there why they have taken the position that they have taken. That is what is paramount in this issue. Not to quarrel, not to make face, Not to approach it with trouble. No. Study why they say. A people who speak the language you speak, who bear the names, the titles you bear, and they say they are not part of you, that should be a concern to you. Why is the question you should ask. If you continue to take the approach you are taking, you are, it doesn't make any sense and it doesn't change anything too. You can't force them now. You cannot force them. Say, you are my people. What are you going to do for them even if they accept it? What do you want to give to them? What do you want to do for them? Find out. It is important. You that is asking this question, that is arguing, tell us about your people, where your people came from. Let us study it too and know whether it is a fallacy, whether it is a fabrication, or it is the fact. Tell us. Expose your own history. It is important. Ikwerre people have taken their position that they are not Igbo people. You know why? They say that Igbo does not mean anything other than bush. They are not bush people. Originally, Ikwerre people call the people of the hinterland, the people who call themselves today Igbo people, Ele Obinohia, people who live in the bush area. Ele Obinohia. That was the original name we gave to the people who call themselves Igbo. But mind you, at the time they called these people Ele Obinohia, the people of Onitsha, Oguta were not involved. The people of Nsoka were not part of the people they called Ele Obinohia. The people who lived in the bush area were called Ele Obinohia, people who live in the bush. That was how we saw the Igbo people at that time. It was later when the elements of the Mbano people became preponderant in Ikwerre here. They were found virtually everywhere. After the Arrows settled, the other group that came immediately after are the Mbano people. After the Mbano, then the Ikwerre people came. That's the order of their migration into this area, you know. So they were preponderant. And when you ask any Mbano at that time, you see, say, I'm from Osuama, I'm from Osuama, I'm from Osuama. With time, you know, that name took over and became a reference name for anybody that comes from that area. Ele Isoma. But originally, it is a name for Mbano people, a particular people in Mbano called Osuama people. The general name that the Ikwerre people called, the people we call Isoma today, the Igbo people, used to be Ele Obinohia, people who live in the bush area. You know, that used to be what it is. You know, you hear some people in America, in Europe, or whatever, bear the name George Bush. George Bush. Bush is not the original name of that family. Bush means bush as we know of it here. So that could not be the original name of the founder of that particular family. But you see people call themselves John River, Edwin Sky. I used to have a friend I met in Dar es Salaam, you know, Tanzania, some time ago. He answers John River. John River. River. Some people have water as their surname. Some people have moon. Some have land. Some have mermaid as even surname. But these things, of course, are not human, you know, names. What is your name? The name Igbo simply means bush, forest area, bush area. In Ikwerre here, we call it Igbo or Igbogo. Eche people call it Igbo, big bush. That name originally came from Yoruba land. Yoruba people call a thick bush, a farm area, as Igbo. Igbo people call farm area Ubo. The difference there is I and you. They all mean the same. Igbo for Yoruba, Igbo for Ikwerre, Igbo for Eche. Igbo Eche, Romo Igbo, Igbo Asako, Igbo Igbo Aro, and all that, Ijebu Igbo. Then Igbo people also, there are places like Igbo Etiti, Igbo Uku, thick bush. Bush is not the founder of Igbo land. Oya, Onugbo is not the founder, it's not the name of the founder of Igbo people. What is the name of the man who founded Igbo land? I don't think that name is, Igbo bush. So Igbo people don't identify themselves as bush people. People who answer that name live in the bush. Originally, the war did not start today. Imagine the war in the 1920s, in 1700s, 1800s, early 1900s, early 20th century. Some people live in the bush area. White man came to open up Africa. Before that time, imagine how we lived. Some people lived near the river, the coastal area. Some lived, in the hinterland area. So those that live in the hinterland area are called the bush people. Yes. So Ikwerre people are not bush people. It is high time Igbo people understood, studied the original name of the founder of Igbo land. Igbo land is not a small ethnic group in the world. The population is huge. They have rich people, wonderful people, people of par excellence in almost every cadre of life, highly educated, exposed, academic people, business-inclined people. They are there. In every segment of life, they are doing wonderfully well. So the name of the founder of such a big ethnic group in the world cannot be Bush. No, I don't think so. Ikwerre people say that the language they speak is called Ikwerre language. The names they bear, the titles they bear, originally are called Ikwerre names and Ikwerre titles. They say that migration started from this area down to the hinterland. And that is why you see varieties of the language in the form of dialects. Some people who copied it are adulterating it. Ikwerre people speak the original Ikwerre language. You can call it Igbo language, Ikwerre language. The sound one. Look at the stress patterns. Look at the intonation. All correct. But as it's moving, people are changing it. Nobody can explain. I have met people from the year of 2004 to the year of 2024. Makes my 20 years as a historian, actively involved. Out of my 10 books that I published, 4 are in the area of history. I also went outside to gain some experience. I have gone to Malta Republic. I have gone to China. I have visited India, Tanzania. I have visited Ghana. I have also gone to Kenya. I wanted to have an achromatic analysis of the people of the world. That is how it takes. I met people in the course of this history. I listened to people. I wonder and imagine how many people of my age met when I was active in history. Who met the people, the kind of people that I met in life. What are you going to tell people like that if you don't have something important to discuss with them? I met people like Tuko Yusuputai, the chief of army staff. I met Mbu Joseph Mbu, former commissioner of police in River State. I met Professor Okachuku Anwuzie, the former president of ASU in Nigeria and former VC of Imo State University, and we discussed history. The late Professor Sikwel Ekwensi, the late Dr. Otto Agboncha, one of the finest literary geniuses in Africa, from Anambra State, the chairman of 4 Dimension Publishers. I met people like Professor Tam David West, Professor E.J. Alagwa. He gave me even a souvenir. You know, I met them. I discussed one-on-one with Pete Edochie in his house in Enugu. I discussed one-on-one with Chika Opala, like Debodaya, in his house in Enugu. I sponsored myself to those places. I wanted to hear from the horse's mouth about Igbo history, about Ikwerre history. In Ikwerre land here, there was nobody during my time that met the kind of people that I met in Ikwerre land. I met virtually every important Ikwerre person, and we discussed history. I learned from them. Whatever I say is what I heard from people that I met, in the course of history research. How old am I to begin to tell you accurately? Maybe what happened some 50, 60, 70 years ago. I heard from people. I heard from many people, many Nigerian people. People like now he's a Brigadier General Gambo, who was a former PRO of 82 Division of Nigerian Army, Enugu. One-on-one we discuss. He is a very highly intelligent military officer. We discussed history. So many people, I cannot mention all their names here. I met so many Nigerian people. Professor Ade F. Ajayi, one-on-one, we discussed history. They engaged me in what we call academic drill, and I scaled through, and they gave me their blessings. So when I stop a particular thing in history, I am saying it with authority. You may say it is a lie, no problem. Bring out your own superior one to counter what I say. Bring out something and say. Igbo does not mean anything other than bush. Ikwerre people are not bush people. No. The founder of Ikwerre land, some people say Obowagede, some people say Ochichi, while some people say Ikwerre, who came all the way from Benin. Whether Ochichi, the same Benin. Whether Obowagede, the same Benin. All Ikwerre people unanimously, generally agree that their founder or their founders came from Benin. Whether we can correlate the two languages or not, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They have taken their position. People generally ask, why don't you speak Benin language? Why don't you practice Benin culture? Fine. Tell us about your own. Let us know the language you came with. If the language is still sustained, the cultural practices that you practice, if they are still sustained, tell us. If you go to Arochukwu, you go to Ihiala, you see them play the Ebe or Konk and all that. Those are Efik and Ibibio, cultural practices. Borrowed, but today they have now become institutionalized, indigenized as cultural practices of Arochukwu, of Igbo people. So you can borrow. Acculturation is wonderful. It's part of life. You can borrow one thing or the other from here or there. But a people, once they stand to say this is our position, respect it. If you continue to say it is a lie, there's nothing you can do about it. All that we do, we say, we quarrel, has not changed anything since 1957 this thing began. Since 1957, this issue, the heat of it that even triggered the formation of Ikwerre in the year of 1963 was from 1961, 1962. This thing continued. And they said no until the 1970s. They went and registered Ikwerre as an ethnic nationality in Nigeria. How do you think you can reverse all that? Because the approach has not been the correct one. Study why they say they are not part of you. Every other Igbo group in Southeast maybe agrees that that group is part of the Igbo ethnic nation. Why do Ikwerre people say they are not? Why do Onitsha people say they are not? Why do Oguta people say they are not? Why do so many groups say they are not? You don't want to know about that. All that you care is people are Igbo. Does it change anything? It doesn't change anything. It doesn't mean anything. So many Ikwerre people just forge on. They look at it and they continue what they are doing. What are you going to do with that? You cannot come from anywhere into Ikwerre now and begin to vie for positions and you'll be given immediately or that easily because you identify yourself as an Igbo person. What is the benefit of all that? Leave the people. After all, in Europe, so many people are now splitting into pieces for development, for progress. All this that we tie ourselves in one place, does it make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. The people say they are not part of Igbo ethnic nationality. It is not that they hate Igbo people. As I have said, Igbo people are wonderful people in the world, highly recognized in every strata of life. There is nothing to miss or regret if people say they are Igbo people. No, but this did not start today. Originally, Igbo people, the people who call themselves Igbo people, know that Igbo people are not part of them. Cast your mind back. What happened in the 1950s when regional government was formed and the headquarters was moved from Port Harcourt to Enugu? What really happened? How were the people treated? Go and ask questions. Read books. You just come and become social media historian. Yes, nowadays they have taken up the space. They argue, they quarrel, they do this and they do that. But the people of Igbo still assert who they are. They don't care what you do. That doesn't change anything. You see people on the street, common people, you begin to ask them, one person says, you say, of course. Go to their chiefs and ask them questions. Go to their paramount rulers. Go to the top Ikwerre people and ask questions. Don't say any person. Some people, you just bring people from your own area. They say they are from Ikwerre and they have agreed. No, we all know all that now. All those schemes, we know all that. All those, ruses, we know all that. All those tricks, we all know that. I studied Igbo history. I studied Ikwerre history. I know Igbo history more than people know Igbo history. People who call themselves Igbo people. Even most of the educated people. Go and ask Professor John Cliff Modikin. Around 2013, he was the HOD History and Diplomatic Studies, Imo State University. Ask him if he knows me. Ask him. Ask so many people. We have discussed history very, very well. Leave Ikwerre people to be. They say they are Ikwerre, leave them. This particular want now was not like that in the past. The people who call themselves Igbo people, did a lot of things to the people of Ikwerre land. And they have taken position. Why did they do all that? Because they believe that Ikwerre people are not part of them. Go to Ohaji. See the way the people and the government of, Imo State, the way they treat the people of Ohaji today. They see them as belonging to the Ikwerre ethnic group. Look at the way. The people who call themselves Igbo people, no. You want Ikwerre people to fill number or fill space, or you want to enlarge your coast? It cannot work. That cannot work now. You know why we don't quarrel? Ikwerre people, when we see people from Igbo land, we don't quarrel. As I am, I don't quarrel. What I'm discussing is just history. It doesn't affect my relationship with any Igbo person. I still have that convivial, that natural, that good relationship with all my friends from Igbo. Nothing has changed. Nothing. We still relate the way we relate. This is history. After all, that's what happened in the past. History is what happened in the past. Study the past. Many Igbo people know that the people are not their people. They know. When they gather together, they know. How they relate, they know that these people, inside their minds, they know that the Ikwerre people are not part of them. But for one reason or the other, you want to add them up. And the Ikwerre people also, they are wise. They know what you know. That thing you know, they cannot come back to Egypt. That's what they call the experiences they passed in the past. They call it Egypt. They cannot go back to Egypt. They have been freed by Yakubu Gowon. God's grace came and Ikwerre was separated from their, people, their termed oppressors, dominators, and all that in the past. And today they have a voice in Nigeria. They have a say. They have arrived. The space is now free for them to operate the way and also advertise who they are. In Nigeria, they can engage in any ambition they want to, no matter the level, without being encumbered, without being hindered. And you say they should return back. To do what? What do you want to do for them? What? What do you want to give to them? What you denied them in the past, now you can give to them now. You want to give to them now? No. They know. They see themselves, they are free. They are not competing. 4 local government areas cannot compete with 5 states. No. They cannot. I have heard a lot from people. I have encountered hundreds of people as a historian. One-on-one discussion. I spent so much money learning all that I learned. I heard a lot. But I see all that as things that happened in the past. Is it by the way you're doing it that the two people can come together? What is the position of Ohanes and Igbo since 1957, since even after the war? If they know that the Ikwerre people are part of them, what role has Ohanes and Igbo played? Let me start a big brother. Since 1967, since the Civil War, and when the war ended till today, what effort have they made to say, okay, these are our brothers, these are our sisters. Okay, the big people in Igbo land that have big companies, investments here and there, how many Ikwerre people did they employ? How many Ikwerre people have they empowered? Even those that are raised in Ikwerre here, what have they done to improve the economy of Ikwerre people? The environment of Ikwerre people? It is just nothing. You don't just say, you are part of us. What do you do for the people? What do you do to show that they are part of you? What have you done in the past? What are you doing presently to say, these people are part of me? It's just by saying, you are Igbo. You begin to quarrel, begin to argue. What sense? It doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense. Ikwerre people are not bush people. Igbo means Ohia, Ubo, farm area. It is high time, as I have said, that the people of Igbo land studied, understood the real name of the founder of Igbo land. By doing that, we can now look whether it correlates with our own notion. We can now see whether, yes, something close is there. But he say Igbo, that Yoruba people mean as bush, Igbo people mean as forest bush, Eche people mean as bush. He said that is your name. We cannot answer that name. It is not our name. And you will also have to agree that the migration came from this part of Ikwerre down to the hinterland. If you say we are one, you have to agree. You don't say, how can a small ethnic group be a big ethnic? No. If you say we are one, what it means is that from a particular point, this migration started, found out. You also have to find out where this language started. Which part of Igbo land did the language start? Is it the Nsukka? Is it the Ngwa people, Mbese people, the Nnewi people, the Onitsha people, the Oguta people? Where did the language start before others copied it? You should tell us coherently. Tell us we want to learn. Not you are Igbo. this person said this Igbo. It doesn't make any sense. Does it change anything? It doesn't change anything at all. Tell us where the language that you call Igbo language today, that we call it Ikwerre language, where this language came from. If the language did not come from outside Igbo land, outside Nigeria, maybe it is within, tell us the particular spot, the area, the particular community in Igbo land, in Southeast or in South-South, where the language originated. Let us look at it together. What you are speaking is Ikwerre language, adulterated, and you call it Igbo language. It is called originally Ikwerre language, and that was what we used to canvass for support during the registration of the autograph of Ikwerre, in Nigeria. We told them that the language is our own. Other people copied it and adulterated it. And we were granted our requests. I am the chief historian in Ikwerre land, the finest historian that Ikwerre land has ever produced. And I took the blessings of people like Eze Emmanuel Anacho Oriji, former paramount ruler of Emowa community. People like Chief S.A.J. Wachuku, a big chief in Ikwerre land. The late His Royal Majesty Eze Timothy Nsirim, Omonakwe Nsirim, Apit one of Umeme, Captain Elechi Amadi, Professor Otonti Nduka, Chief Nda Agoma, and so many of them blessed me. They see me as a fine historian. I am an archive of Ikwerre history. I know a lot. I engaged in people a lot. I became the first Nigerian to produce and sponsor an ethnic documentary of an ethnic nation. It is called The Nigerian Minorities, a case of the Ikwerre ethnic nationality. Go to YouTube, just simply search Ikwerre documentary 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hours documentary. It is a compilation of everything about Ikwerre, single-handedly. So when I speak as an authority. What I am telling you is the reposition of Ikwerre people. We don't hate Igbo people, and we cannot hate Igbo people. 90% of our mothers are from there. From there, they gave us names, they introduced their food and all that. 90%, if not 98% of married women in Ikwerre come from Igbo. They are from Igbo. So we are one, but what we're talking about is identity. What we're talking about is originality class of the people involved. It is not enough to say we are brothers. Okay, yes, that relationship is a wild one. We are talking about streaming it down to the original source. What is my relationship with one person as an Ikwerre person? What is the relationship between a Soka person and a Uguta person? What is the relationship between Newi person and Ikwa person? What is the relationship between Mbise person and Okija person? We need to understand all this. They are all subgroups. All these subgroups in Igbo land. What is the relationship with each other? I have changed the mindsets of so many people who call themselves Igbo people. When you can encounter me, you will reason. We use what we call reasoning or reason. We use reason, logic to do all that we do. May God continue to bless all of us. Keep us alive. Give us sound heads. In the name of our Lord and our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you, and Michael dearly.